ladies and gentlemen, we are here with a WrestleMania review. Something that's not been done on the channel for a while. We decided, big event, we'll bring it back. I am your host, Frozzy. That is DP. That way. DP's on the screen. You can see him, unfortunately. But yes, we are going to be reviewing WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. We decided to throw this together, and we were like, why not? Like, it's Mania season, let's just get a video out there. And it is actually the first time I've recorded a video that isn't a showdown in months. So I'm more than happy to get involved with this. So we will hand over to DP, and we'll find out how he's doing. Not that anyone cares, but yeah, how are you doing, DP?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, I guess. I was before we started this, anyway.
It'll never stop, DP.
I know. It's just, yeah, it gets a bit tiring, you know. It's Mania season, or was Mania season. It's the restart,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, but no,
Yeah.
it's the same old you guys, you know.
Yeah, no, it'll never change. It'll always be let's. You know, like AJ Styles, you say, let's beat up John Cena. Well, this is like let's pick on DP. That's the thing. That's. You love it really, mate.
Not.
You're lying. You love it really.
So I've got to ask, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Like snowed under as always. Always tired, but yeah, we're getting there slowly. Things are starting to change. I say this and then they just go back to shit. So I'm jinxing myself really.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll say everything's good, and that's all that people need to know. But yeah, it's just nice to get on a video that's not a showdown.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to do a few more of these. I've got Cammy Show coming up with Ray as well, which I'm looking forward to going to. So yeah, no, it's going to be good times. But we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is not just to bully DP. It is to review WrestleMania Night 1, which is where we're going to start. I mean, everything WWE does these days is now massive. So we had the big show at the start. Triple H comes down and welcomes everyone to WrestleMania, and yeah, it's just McMahon used to do it, didn't he? He used to come out and say like, "Welcome to WrestleMania." Pretty much it, but this just felt like it meant more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was also because this is the first official Mania under the banner of Triple H, which is why it sort of had a big aura, big sort of event feeling about it. Because this is, as I said already, his very first official Mania where someone else is not in charge. It's fully him now.
Yeah. So, and we were all quite looking forward to it. I mean, I feel like with the build up and everything, with the way everything went, they made a shitstorm, and then they somehow made some fantastic, compelling TV out of it. Because it did, like, I wasn't sure, and then it sort of dragged me in, and I was like, yes, it's probably going to be good. But we'll find out our thoughts as we go through the card, because up first was the WWE Women's World Title match between Rhea Ripley, defending champion, against Becky Lynch. And I thought this was mint.
Yeah, I have no quarrel there whatsoever.
No, it was just like the right person won. Because I was very concerned that they may do Rhea dirty.
Yeah.
And she absolutely did not deserve to lose to Becky Lynch. If she's going to lose, it can't be to Lynch.
No, exactly.
There's nothing for Becky to gain from it. She's done everything.
Yeah.
But the match itself was fantastic. They actually put on a clinic, and it was a great opening to the show. With very much the right winner. Did you give this a star rating, DP?
I did it 8.5 whatsoever. So no.
No. I mean, I did rate them, and I had this as 3.5. I just thought it was a solid open. and it was one of the better matches from night one.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, this is a great opener as well for the show.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah,
what are your main titles here? Like,
yeah,
you've got the probably the biggest female wrestler in today's industry, in Rhea
yeah,
Ripley, taking on perhaps the previous biggest women's
yeah,
wrestler in the industry. So I went in the same feeling as you. I'm slightly concerned they
yeah,
might put it on Becky because
yeah.
it's Becky. Like, she's someone
Uh,
who is highly regarded and
yeah,
someone who understandably could be given a title and then to feud with someone else down the line or whatever. But I
yeah,
am very glad they went the direction they went with, and Rhea winning was absolutely the right call. The only concern I have is Rhea's reign. Rhea's reign is becoming a bit similar to Roman's
yeah,
in regards to the issues that we had during the first part of the towards the end of the first year of Roman's first reign, but the Roman's Universal title reign
yeah,
was that he was beating everyone.
yeah,
She's beating everyone. Who realistically can come in and take the title from her?
yeah.
And obviously, it'll be a case of someone does do it eventually, but I'm just wondering at this point, who
Who?
would that be?
Yeah, yeah. It is similar, like you said, with Roman. You couldn't see who was going to beat him, and then they obviously got Cody back, and we all.
Yeah.
It took longer, but yeah. I just hope they don't go around in circles to get it done. Like I'm a fan of long title reigns as long as they make sense. They've got to have that plan already in place. Like, right, you're going to have this long reign, but this person's going to beat you, and it's probably going to be Cargill if I was to guess.
Yeah.
As like out of the women's roster at the minute, legitimately, she's probably the only one I
Yeah.
could see doing it because Rhea's beat everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, the only person I can think of who potentially she hasn't beaten yet, and I could be wrong because I don't remember the match happening, for her title is Bianca.
Yeah, yeah, I think you might be right actually.
I don't know
Um,
if she has faced her yet or not, but there's other names in there as well. You got Asuka, obviously you got like Damage Control. You've got Naomi who's back as well.
yeah, and it's looking like Liv Morgan's the next one.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning.
No, me neither. No, no, but it looks like she is next. So
Yeah, I mean, if you saw Raw,
uh,
like you saw that amazing camera shot of the chair flying into Rhea's face, but
have you seen the one where they've mocked up the video and as it hits her, the Sonic coins come spinning out of her head?
yeah,
It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, yeah, it's well, if it isn't Liv Morgan next, that was pointless. But yeah, it's looking like Rhea's going to have a dominant reign. It'll go for a bit longer, and it'll be a Bianca or a Jade Cargill who probably dethrones her.
yeah,
I just don't. They're not doing enough with like Tiff Stratton or anything. Like she's on SmackDown, but
yeah.
she's not being built.
Here's the thing, and we'll get to the women's title match on SmackDown.
Yeah,
But I do think there's a theme as to what they did here,
yeah,
and I think
yeah.
Tiff is going to get her shot sooner rather than later.
Probably they do need to start doing more with her.
Yeah, I fully agree. She's one of the more promising stars on the women's roster, and yeah, it'd be a shame to waste her.
Yeah, no, she's great. I'm a fan of Tiff.
It's always a time to put it up in here.
It is, mate. It is. Right, we will move on to match number 2, though, which was the splitting of the tag team titles, which is what I think everyone predicted. So it was the case of the ladder match was 6-pack ladder match. It was A-Town Down Under, Awesome Truth, the Judgment Day, DIY, the New Day, and New Catch Republic. And both titles were hung from the top, so you got Raw and SmackDown. Both had to be taken down.
Yeah.
In order for someone to win. So this was a very fun match, and I don't know what I expected going out of this. But ladder matches, when they're like mishmashed up like this, and there's 6 teams in it, you know it's going to be chaotic.
Yeah.
This was fun, chaotic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always a risk with having never mind 12 person, but like a 8-person, 10-person, etc. Like it's going to be a chaos, but in a messy way that makes the match look worse because people are scrambling around or they're brawling like senselessly and it makes no sense and no one's climbing a ladder because they're always fighting or someone's waiting for their spot or whatever. But with this, it was done in a certain way that you didn't know that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say as well, going back to the actual titles being hung above the ring, I didn't see it being like two separate titles like that. I thought they were hung together on the same thing.
Right.
So my thought was Awesome Truth would win one of the titles because Truth pulled down one set thinking he'd won the match.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, actually, no, you got to pull both down, but before you can get the other ones, someone takes them from that or something. But they've won those titles.
Yeah.
So that's how they do it, rather than officially be like, actually, no, that's there and that's there. So
yeah, because it's like, well, when you're at the top, how do you make that decision?
Yeah,
like you can get one set of titles. Like it was very obvious when people were going to win. Like once I think the SmackDown ones went first, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it
was very obvious who was winning the Raw one. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we did get A-Town Down Under taking the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which I honestly did not see coming.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am an A-Town Downer, and I thoroughly love the decision to have them win, and I'm so pleased for them because they are both legitimately great workers.
Yeah.
I'm just very surprised by it. I really thought it was going to be DIY. Who beat
the
other
so
team.
Did I. I thought it was going to be DIY. And I had a feeling, obviously, where the next ones were going. But, well, I think I predicted DIY because I thought the other one was dead obvious. I was like, I'm just going to predict DIY then. I wish I hadn't have done that. But yeah, no, it was like the whole match was fantastically done. And then obviously after A-Town Down Under had won the SmackDown titles, we got the absolute pinnacle of WrestleMania when R-Truth took down the Raw Tag Team titles and finally got his WrestleMania win.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Also, you can't forget as well the additional Truth moment where he hits that attitude adjustment and goes for the pin, and then gets a free count. And
yeah, and especially after he made Miz tag him in.
Yeah,
it was so good. It was great. It was great. I love R-Truth.
Yeah, it's amazing that this guy's in his 50s. Like, he's been in the business for 25, 30 years, something like that. And he's still as entertaining as he was back then. Like, it's insane because he's always been reinventing himself over the years through the thick and thin of, the McMahon era. Being a joke character with Little Jimmy, having, the Invisible Thing, them being all serious with no music and shit like that. He was a smoker at one point, and then it was like, what are you doing now? And then the whole 24/7 garbage. And then back to genuinely entertaining comedy skits that he's doing now. Before Miz as well, with Judgment Day, and now with Miz. Like, it's amazing to see the revitalization of R-Truth.
Yeah. Because I believe the first time I ever saw R-Truth was when he came in as K-Quick.
Yeah, same here. Rumble 2001.
Yeah.
Was it 2001?
Yeah.
It was one of the Rumbles.
I feel like it was 2001. Could be wrong, but he was in a tag team with I wanted to say X-Pac, but I don't think it was.
It was Road Dogg.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was after he split from Billy Gunn. Yeah,
when he split with Billy Gunn. Yeah, I knew it was some form of DX connection. I just got the wrong one. But yeah, no. Our truth is, like Vince liked him, didn't he? Which is why he was still there.
Yeah, because he made Brock legitimately laugh.
Yeah, well, he made good out of shit. That's what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's been given so much bad stuff that he's just made genuinely entertaining. So to finally get a moment that he got at WrestleMania, it was kind of like, what I don't want to happen is it's kind of like when Zack Ryder got his WrestleMania moment, and then it just lasted for not very long.
Exactly. Yes.
I hope they get a bit of a run.
Yeah.
Rather than it being like a week.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's getting a week at least, because we as we're recording this, we know what's happened on Raw after Mania as well, and there was no title defense for that, so they at least get him for a week.
Yes, yeah, that's my big concern now is how long are they going to last? But there was just good outings in this match for everyone. No one underperformed in this match, and I actually had this rated higher than Ripley and Lynch. I went 4 stars with this. I thought it was great.
That's very valid. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is like we said, like one of the better matches of the night. Just a very fun ladder match, and like I said at the start of this match, look at this match review. It was one of the cases where it could have been really bad because of the amount of chaos, the amount of mess that was going to come with this match. But a mixture of professionalism, they know what they're doing, the camera work, the production, like everything was done well, and it was just done in a way that you didn't feel bored by it, you didn't feel overwhelmed by it. It was just a great blend of everything.
Yeah. No, it was, and the camera work in WWE has got so much better recently. They are like they did that. I mean, it was on Raw not long ago, I think, where they did like the camera shot where someone was leaving, and then it went into like another segment, and it was all just one shot. And they do that now, and it's so good. Yeah, like you can tell it's changed for the better.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lot more risk being taken in camera work, and it goes to show you, because now the camera's not so like that like.
Yeah. It's not. You're not getting 57 camera cuts because what's his face isn't there anymore. I can't remember his name, but he used to. That's him. He used to annoy the life out of me.
Or like when someone's getting hit by a chair, like they must follow the chair going up and down, like.
Yeah. Don't need it. Unnecessary, and it's just so much better now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we followed up an epic tag team match with. I think they were just trying to give the crowd a breather with this. And as loved as Rey Mysterio is, Andrade and Rey Mysterio took on Dominic and Santos Escobar. I just feel like this was just a match just to throw on the show, so Rey Mysterio and Dominic got a match on the show. That's what I feel like it was.
That is, that's more or less my thoughts on that as well. It felt lazy booking. It felt like it wasn't really there for any good reason other than just, as you say, to get Rey and Dominic a match on the card. Also, probably Andrade, because he was randomly slotted in, because it was meant to be Dragon Lee originally.
Yeah.
And then it was Andrade. It was like, oh, okay, because I didn't watch SmackDown before. So for me, I'm like, oh, cool, it's going to be Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. That should be fun. And there's Andrade. I'm like, he's not bad either, but I would prefer Dragon Lee in this scenario. Like,
Yeah, it's just like, for me, the Rey and Dominic's thing's just like, it was done last year. I don't get the sense in doing it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you like, if you're going to repeat it, you have to at least like do it their way. So have Dominic and Santos win, because spoiler, they don't. But Dominic should have probably pinned Rey here.
Yeah,
and then they can throw back another year between Rey and Dominic, like,
or just do it at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and just have the final one-on-one. But for me, these should have just been like, it happened last year. There's no reason for it to happen this year. It felt like it was just done very quickly. There was no real story behind it.
I mean, I could go into more appropriate reasoning, I guess is the right word for it, as to why I think the match happened the way it happened. But I'm not going to for the sake of the channel.
Yeah, no, it's just...
All I'll say is just look at the names and you'll see the theme.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it wasn't very good for me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we spend too much time talking about this. Andrade and Rey Mysterio won, which, I don't know why. I rated this 2 stars. I just wasn't a fan.
That's absolutely valid. Yeah, I mean, from like the prediction standpoint, I had Dominic and Santos winning because it was Dragon Lee, and I didn't know it was Andrade, which to me was like, oh, okay, the Ray's winning then, because this is Andrade's first Mania back. Might be his first Mania since 35 or 36 maybe, and it's like he's not losing his return Mania, so to me it was like it completely spoiled the match as well.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay, then why bother? Like.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, it wasn't very well built up in my opinion, and it was there because it was there.
Yeah.
And obviously we got the interference, didn't we?
Yeah, I suppose.
Which was the guy who played for the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kelsey guy whose brother's going out with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, if that makes you relevant, that makes you relevant.
I always get them mixed up. There's 2 of them, and I believe the one that's with Taylor Swift is Travis Kelce, and I don't know the other one. So it was the other one.
I couldn't tell you.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of matches with little to no build, Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso. Like, they could have done so much more with this. And this felt like it was put together like for a 4-week build.
This is a very weird scenario here because this is meant to be a culmination of a brotherly feud or like brothers turned rivals sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you've had all this build since like 2019, 2020, something like that, between Jey and Jimmy. Jimmy was out injured, obviously, so Jey became the right-hand man, etc. of Roman Reigns. Jey then broke off when Jimmy came back. Jimmy turned heel, etc. They've been feuding. Feuding for how long now?
Yeah.
On separate shows. But this match could have been a lot more. But saying that, also, I don't rate the Usos in solo matches.
Yeah.
They're a very good tag team. But that's when their style is mixed with someone else's style. Like, when you have an Uso and an Uso, you're gonna have an Usi match. Like, it's gonna be very Usi.
All right, Sami Zayn.
But you know what I mean. It's a very very Uso centric in regards to what they do because they have almost the identical moveset.
Yeah.
So, to me, it wasn't that interesting.
No, it just, like you said, they got story that went all the way back to, like, 2019. And it just didn't feel like it was used properly. Like, this was technically a blood feud that just ended in a singles match.
Yeah.
Just, like, no stipulation. They should have made this, like, some form of... You can't go bloodline rules, because obviously, like, it was being used.
Yeah.
But they should have had some form of stipulation. And I feel like a stipulation probably would have helped.
Yeah.
Like, get some weapons in there, and rather than it just be Super Kick Central. I honestly felt like I was watching Dynamite.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. This match should have been so much better than it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I rated the last match 2 stars, and this was worse. So, yeah, I did not rate this match at all. I went 1.5 stars, and that's generous.
Wow.
Yeah, I just didn't enjoy it.
Honestly,
like, no, this is not for me.
I think I'd go less than that. I'd probably go 0.5 star.
Yeah. Fair.
That's honestly, I remember watching this. I was legitimately struggling to stay awake.
It was the longest 11 minutes and 7 seconds of my life.
Yeah, Exactly. And it 11 minutes, 7 seconds, that felt like an hour. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't seem to end. And then when it did end, it was like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And you know what else is happening with them 11 minutes and 7 seconds, DP? You ain't getting
Well,
them back.
yeah.
They're gone. They're gone
I,
in a half a star match.
I'm 11 minutes older because of that.
I felt like I'd aged more than 11 minutes by the end of it. Yeah, it was just not good.
No, it absolutely wasn't.
And so we're going to move on to the better matches now.
That
Because it did start to get a little bit better here. We had the 6-woman tag team match, which was Bianca Jade and Naomi against Damage Control, which was Oscar Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane. I thought this was fun. It was everything it needed to be. They had Jade Cargill come at the end and look like an absolute beast. And yeah, he got everything that he needed.
Yeah.
Because this match was made to make Jade Cargill look good.
Yeah, and to me, that was the issue.
Yeah.
You've got 5 other insanely talented women in this match. That, not to mention, Dakota Kai is great, Kairi Sane's great, Asuka's great, Bianca's great, Naomi's great. Like, Naomi also recently came back. Like,
yeah.
Where's her spotlight? Like,
yeah.
This has been a match that was curated, directed, produced, whatever, for Jade Cargill. And that's the issue, because people mention, like, to use a similar situation in AEW, people like say Mercedes Moné is someone who is overhyped or overrated, or someone who thinks that she's too who thinks she's better than she is.
Yeah.
I feel that same way about Jade Cargill right now in WWE. Anyone felt the same way in AEW, like when she was there. She has come in, and her in-ring ability, to me, and I'm not a wrestler, so I'm just saying this as a viewer. She's not that good. Like, the ability to make someone look as good as that relies on the people who are selling.
Yeah.
Like, so props to Damage Control, because they made her look like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't on Jade. This, like, F1 worked around her to elevate her.
Yeah.
Because she is, this larger than life character. Which is fine. I get it. Big name. Probably one of the biggest names in women's wrestling right now. And honestly, that dragged the match down for me. So I personally wouldn't go higher than maybe 2 stars for this. But better than the Usos. So
so you rated that half a star. So you could have got 3/4 of a star here. It could have been higher than the Usos.
Yeah.
But I was 2.5 for this, just because I thought, like, I saw it from I get that you think that it was built for Jade and it maybe harmed the match and someone else, but because it was built for Jade, they nailed it. So I can't rate the match down. And I just thought it was a 2.5 star. It was a solid match, and it got across what they needed to do.
Yeah.
One day, WWE will stop doing Japanese wrestlers dirty at WrestleMania. They will, but it does always seem to happen. They will stop one day, I promise.
Remember Charlotte Flair and Asuka?
yeah, exactly. But Shinsuke got done dirty at Mania as well, didn't he? So
yeah, but he got a low blow on AJ Styles.
True.
That was a great moment for like 1 week.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. But we'll leave that match there, and we'll move on now to the Intercontinental title match, which was Gunther defending his Intercontinental title that he'd held for 666 days against Sami Zayn. We got a nice little bit at the start of this where the camera's following Sami and KO's there, and he's like, "This is you. This is what you've waited for. Go and get it done." And was good, and it's that one camera shot again where it just follows him, and then his music hits, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love that side of WWE now that they do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Um,
It was like you remember those WWE games where it's like
Yeah.
your create characters walking backstage through like crowds of people or like other wrestlers who are like
Yeah.
all interacting in different ways, and
Yeah.
yeah, like his wife and kid who were there,
Yeah.
and natural reaction, go get them,
Yeah.
but stay safe, come home safe,
Yeah.
whatever. Then you got his coach Gable, who's like, "You can do this. We've been through training. You know what to do. You've got this." And then it finally culminates, you said, on his best friend,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, who
Yeah.
is, by all means, these two haven't interacted much, like for
No.
the last few months, at least on TV anyway. So
Yeah.
it's great to have that moment of them reuniting as well backstage before Sammy goes out for his big moment here.
Yeah.
I'll let you continue on with what you were saying though, about yourself, but yeah,
No,
we
yeah.
love the opening bit.
Yeah, no, it was, and like we said, it's nice to see that this stuff is now happening, because it makes it feel more real.
Yeah,
like because you imagine that when wrestlers are going out to the ring, that is what they're doing. Like the families are like, oh yeah, just good luck, and I hope everything's okay, and you come back, and stuff like that, and your best friend's encouraging you and stuff like that, and it just adds a more real life element to it.
Yeah.
But the match itself was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved this match. And I think everyone knew it was going to bang, but we felt like the wrong person was probably getting the shot. Because I still don't believe that Sami Zayn was the person who should have been in this match. But I knew it was going to be mint, and it was. Because Sami Zayn doesn't miss the mark very much in matches, and Gunther just has banger after banger.
Hey, that's not his thing.
No, I know it's not, but it felt very apt for this. Because, I mean, he battered Sami Zayn, absolutely murdered him for the entirety of the match. And then Sami gets a couple of hope spots, and then Gunther slaps him down again, and then it's like, you could see what was going to happen when he was powerbombing him and he was still kicking out, and then he kept going to the top and splashing him. I'm like, oh, mate, you're taking too much time here now. Like, he's just going to turn around and absolutely wallop you in a minute.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
And it took a few, but it was so good. But the highlight of the match for me was the Brainbuster.
Yeah.
What an absolute... Because I don't think anyone knew... Like, he only does it now and again, doesn't he? It must be like a deal that he has. Like, you can do it once a year, and like, that's all you can do.
It's like I remember seeing him with Gunther on the top turnbuckle, and I'm watching it there with my family. I'm like, he's not gonna do it, is he? I'm like, it's a Mania, like it's very Mania worthy, like, but he's not gonna do it to Gunther.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, he gets on there, lifts up the suplex, and it's like,
yeah, it's unreal. It's so good because that move could so easily go wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're going to do it, that's props to Sami Zayn and props to Gunther as well for letting him do it.
Yeah.
And having the trust in Sami Zayn to do that move because that's insane. And it wasn't even a match ender. Like that should end the match.
Yeah.
I'm a stickler for shit like this. Like, legitimately, he's now Connor Mills. Like he should be dead, man. Like,
I mean, to be fair, it did sort of like set up to the end anyway. So I can't sort of forgive it.
Yeah. It was such a good moment. Like when they counted the 3, and it was like, fucking hell, Gunther's lost.
Yeah.
And that was what it was. More for me, because I was convinced that he was just going to win.
Yeah.
I was like, it's Sami Zayn, he's beating him. Wow. But yeah, no, I was convinced he was beating him because, for me, as I said before, I didn't think Zayn should have been in this match. I still think it should have been Chad Gable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we got it as Zayn ending it at 666 days, which is quite funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you consider Sammy's like descendancy and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the match was insane.
Yeah.
No pun intended there because insane, but
Yeah.
it was a phenomenal match that I went into as not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a good match. Don't be wrong, but I always look at things like this for Mania of all things as well, from a booking side of things. I'm like, why is the match happening and yada yada yada, that sort of thing. And in my mind, I was surefire of one thing that I completely forgot about in the match itself because I just loved it. But I was like, this felt like Triple H and WWE trying to overcompensate for something that should happen last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, the only reason why Sammy's in the spot now is because he didn't beat Roman last year.
Yeah.
Because realistically, and I think I did this last year as well, the main event should have been Roman, Cody, Sammy.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, Cody, Sammy, because Sammy beats Roman at Chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you go back through the Bloodline story, Sami Zayn probably was the right person to end it. But yeah, given what we know now, like, I'm not too fussed.
I'm still a little bit about it because I was heavily on that Sammy train. Like,
yeah, well, a lot of people were, weren't they?
Yeah.
But I mean, they botched 2 stories that year. And they have this Mania was all about making up for it by the looks of it. So I'm glad that Sammy got the win. I still think the wrong person was in this match. And hopefully, I think what I'd hope this leads to is Gable and Sammy and Gable winning.
Yeah, precisely. I think that it's not going to be a face Gable. I think it's going to be a heel Gable.
Yeah, because he's now going to be pissed off.
Yeah, because Sammy stole his moment at Mania.
Yep. Yeah, and that's probably where the story's going to go.
Yeah, so Gable can complete his story because that seems to be the ongoing theme right now.
Yes, there's a lot of stories going on.
Yeah,
but no, it was a banger match, and I rated this 4.5.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is my match of the night for that one.
No, I don't think it was.
For me,
and it's wild that it's wild that I'm even saying this because I had very low expectations. But the main event was the Bloodline against Cody and Seth, and I thought this was so much better than it had any right to be.
Yeah,
because this match went for 44 minutes and 34 seconds. And if anyone's watched any of the build up to this, The Rock can't go 4 minutes without sweating.
Or injured himself.
Yeah. And he's got through 44 minutes of the match.
Yeah.
And Roman hasn't carried the entire thing.
No.
On behalf of them. The Rock has been very heavily involved in this match. And it was paced absolutely perfectly. And that has a lot to do with Cody and Seth being perfect opponents. I feel like they made The Rock look better than he had any right to be, and I would argue that The Rock looked better now than he did 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's
when he fought Cena.
Yeah.
But this match was made in the build-up. Like the build-up, they've done Rock going heel because they completely botched it when they were going to do Rock and Roman. And it was just like, and they knew, and the previews, like, they previewed the thingy, hadn't they, like, the booking of WrestleMania, that's coming out on Wednesday, as it is.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Which would be tomorrow as we're recording.
Yeah.
And they're going to go into all that, but they knew they'd fucked up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But the fuck up actually made it better.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have got none of this final boss stuff or any of that if that hadn't have happened. And I just thought this match was great. Like, they brawled in the crowd. Everything they did had a meaning.
Yeah.
And they weren't just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. The whole thing was great. Rock selling of the spear was probably the funniest thing I've seen in ages.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did love this match. It was so much better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, I I agree with everything that you just said, except the bit before we said it was better than Semi Gunter. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And just the preface as well. I rated Semi Gunter 4 and 3/4 stars. It was just shy of a perfect match because I couldn't get over the fact that it wasn't Gable.
Yeah,
Which shouldn't pay effect into it, but it just did in my head, and that's what I rated in my own mind. This match for me was a very easy 4-star.
yeah.
I did enjoy it. I very much enjoyed this match. I will say 44 minutes is a bit long.
I didn't think it felt like it.
Exactly. That I was just to say that. Yes, 44 minutes is long, but it didn't feel like 44 minutes.
Yeah,
So I think I felt like it was like a 20-minute match. I was like,
yeah,
where's the time gone? I think it was
yeah.
like I think I started it at like the match was like I think it was like 7 o'clock, and it was like almost 8 by the time it finished, and I was like, huh? I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, where's the time gone?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was great pacing for this match. Everything was great. I'm just very surprised, and props to Rock for it that he didn't get injured in
Yeah.
this match.
Yeah, it's mad because they did some stuff where you think he's injured here. There's no way you can get through this entire match without being injured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's massive props to him and to his training team and Gallus who were involved in training him at his personal estate in Florida, I think it was.
He had 3 rings. He had a ring in LA, he had somewhere in Florida, and I think he was using the PC as well.
Yeah. So, fair play to everyone involved in getting Rock ring ready again. Because, honestly, I did not expect this from Rock. I thought this was going to be mainly Roman doing the heavy carrying for this match, but I would argue Rock did more than Roman in this match.
Yeah, yeah. It felt like they were protecting Roman for the night after.
Yeah, precisely. And you got Cody and Seth who've also got their own matches the following night, and it's Cody and Seth are perfect opponents and also really great tag partners.
Yeah.
And then you got as well like the very rare dynamic of Cody and Roman, who your top face and your top heel work seamlessly together.
Yeah.
Which is very rare in any wrestling throughout history.
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare you have that. Like, Austin Rock is probably the only other example I could think of immediately where it's that seamless amount of booking and seamless amount of work rate they both have in the ring.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, 4 stars. For me, it wasn't a match of the night, but we'll get to my match of the 2 nights later on. This to me was it was really good.
It was.
Did not expect half the stuff that happened in it. And throughout the whole thing, I was like, okay, how's it going to lead to night 2? Because something's going to happen on night 2 that leads from this match happening, and then suddenly we get the spear from Roman onto Rock. Yeah. And they're like, that's what happens then.
Yeah. It was when he hit that spear, you think he's going to turn on Roman on night 2. That's where it's going to go, and then obviously the Rock hits the rock bottom, then the people's elbow, and then
the trouble elbow.
They win. And I feel like that result was very obvious because the Bloodline weren't not going to win something. And you don't have a Bloodline rules match otherwise, do you? Like, as be the stipulation. I feel like they were always going to win.
Yeah.
And Cody was always taking the fall.
To be fair, I had Seth taking the fall. Because in my initial thinking when I did my predictions for this, I had it as Drew costing Seth.
Right.
And then that would lead to Seth getting pinned by a Rock or Roman.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Rock was not going to lose this match. Also, between the choices of Cody Roman Bloodline rules or Cody Roman standard match, it was no brainer.
No. So I figured like you that Rock was probably going to get the win here, and I feel like because we sort of had an inkling which way it was going on night 2, that Rock pinning Cody meant that they could set up a match further down the line.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where it's going. I think Rock and Cody will happen, probably at SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
So I did pick Cody to take the fall in predictions, purely because I felt like it was obvious, but I can see your reasoning for it, because Drew McIntyre's been a prick at it. So.
Exactly, yeah. My thought was just like Seth's about to do a stomp or something on Roman or Rock, and then suddenly out of nowhere Claymore. Like that was my thought process, and then like Drew just stands over him or something like that. Like and then lets Rock get the elbow or something.
Yeah, exactly. But I went rating on this. I didn't go 5 stars. I went 4 3/4 because I did love it, but it wasn't a 5-star match. It was good, but it wasn't 5 stars. It also wasn't my match of the weekend, so we'll get to that.
I wonder what it'll
be. We will get to. Well, we'll find out in a minute, won't we? Because we will go to night 2. And we opened up night 2 with a returning Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to see her back, actually, because just because her last name's McMahon doesn't mean she shouldn't be in there anymore.
No, precisely. That's exactly right. And I was just more surprised more than anything to see her back. Because
I wasn't.
Just the ongoing stuff that we won't go into details of because it's morbid to do that. I just didn't think she'd show her face right now just because of her affiliation.
Yeah, I don't know. There's obviously been accusations leveled that she did stuff that she knew.
Yeah,
but they like TKO and Endeavour or whatever you want to call them. They seem to conduct their business quite thoroughly. And if she's back, she's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid. Yeah.
And I think they've said in many statements that no one's bigger than the company. If you do something wrong, you're out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's for me. Question marks over Triple H and Stephanie or anything like that, and what they knew, didn't know, are null and void now. We don't need to ask them questions. We know the answer. They're still employed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's good to see her back. She does the shtick from the previous night. Welcomes everyone to Mania Night 2, and we kick off with the WWE World Heavyweight Title match, which is that prick Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Genuinely thought we were getting a Sheamus Daniel Bryan moment.
Did same.
I was like, oh my god! As soon as he hit it, I was like, it's actually over. This is done.
I thought like coming out doing the whole elaborate entrance. Both of them got like these special Mania entrances.
Yeah.
Seth's was more elaborate, as you'd expect.
Seth was sick. I love that.
Yeah, it was alright. It reminded me of like a New Orleans Mardi Gras sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just said like, bell rings, Claymore, just a straight pin. I thought, fucking hell, this is gonna be like the shortest match ever. I was like, because I'm pretty sure that would beat Brian Sheamus as well in terms of like.
Oh yeah, it would because with Brian Sheamus, they rang the bell, then he kissed AJ Lee, and then he was wiped out.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it would have beat Rock and Rowan because Rock beat him in 3 seconds.
I don't count that. That's not a real match.
It's listed as a match.
It's not a match, mate.
It had a bell. It rang. They counted the 3, and the bell rang again. That constitutes a match.
Well, okay, if you're using that logic, then R-Truth won. That's out by pinfall in another match.
You can't win a ladder match by pinfall, you clown.
But yeah, no, like I said, I fully agree with you. thought this was over within like 5 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
insane of me to think as well. Like, it's Seth Rollins of all people. Like,
Yeah. But it would have also like made Drew look like an absolute beast, and it would have been good to end it there. Because I feel like Seth's effect in terms of like he just needs time off.
mm-hmm.
Like, give that man some time off. Because we'll get to it again later, but give that man time off. But yeah, the match carried on, and while the Usos felt like 11 years, this went shorter than the Usos match.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was literally, I think it was like just over 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
it felt like they got so much into that 10 minutes that you couldn't fault either man. They both got all the stuff in, both did everything they needed to do, and we got what we thought we were going to get ages ago when McIntyre won the title in front of fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I legitimately think this was the perfect match in regards to pacing and duration. Normally you have, a match that goes, 11 minutes, 7 seconds, and it feels like an hour.
Yeah.
Or you might have a match that's like 24 minutes long and it felt like it was 10.
Yeah.
Like, this was 10 minutes and it felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, this was perfectly paced. Everything was great. I didn't feel like I had missed something. Like, everything was so action packed, and there wasn't any dull sequences in this match between the pair of them. Like, they went in, gave it their all, and while it was 10 minutes, it was one of the best matches of both nights. Like,
100%. It was like, and you struggle like star ratings when they're given by Uncle Dave tend to go on length. This legitimately is probably a 5-star 10-minute match.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you rate them purely on time, this is 10 minutes, 5-star.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And it was made even better when you realise that when Drew McIntyre got that phone at the start, it was his.
Yeah, I didn't know this first.
Legitimately tweeted from his own account.
Yeah, bored at work.
And then everything that happens after is just even more of a bonus. He's like, but yeah, Drew does get the job done, and it looks like he wins the title in front of a crowd.
Yeah, beautiful moment. I want to say that.
It really was a beautiful moment. I was like, oh my god, he's actually done it, and it's like you can tell it means something to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then within 5 minutes, his whole world comes crashing down.
Well, yeah. Before we say what happens, let's break down what actually before that. So he's celebrating, goes outside the ring. He's hanging out by the crowd, like by the barriers and stuff. Just taking in the adoration, and then for some reason, he just turns his head, and he sees CM Punk sitting at the commentary table. Obviously, arms in the brace and all that.
Yeah.
So he goes towards Punk, and he's gloating in front of Punk's face now, putting a title in his face, saying like, "Look at this! Look what I have." So and then he's taunting him, saying like, "I'll end your career, mate. Don't bother." Like, and Punk is retorting, because he's on commentary, so you hear him a lot clearer than you hear Drew, saying like, "This is your moment. Why make it about me?" Which is very valid. Like,
yeah. And the other thing that made me laugh about it was like, I've got headphones on. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
that's like what a legend.
You can hear like little snippets of what Drew's saying, but you can hear Punk perfectly because he's obviously mic'd in. But yeah, this is a great little interaction between the pair of them, and then he stands up, proceeds to taunt a bit more, turns his back for 1 second, and suddenly Punk just jumps up and just sweeps his leg.
It's so good. It is so good.
And he literally takes the arm brace off.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at this, because then I was like, when he took it off, I was like, is he even injured now? Like, have we all just been worked?
The thing is, we might have been, but I was noticing he didn't use the arm when he attacked after.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Yeah.
So he might. I'm just taking it off as a way to, use a weapon of sorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, he takes the brace off. He hits Drew over the head with it, and then he looks over him, and suddenly we're here.
Yeah.
The music playing. It's Altered Bridge. It's fucking Damian Priest. He's cashing it.
And CM Punk's face when he realizes, he's like, yeah. Yeah.
This is perfect timing.
Yeah. And then, obviously Priest cashes in and we get the impromptu match.
Yes.
Which was only ever going to go one way. As soon as he come down, you were like, well, this is successful. Because this would be dumb as fuck if they don't let him cash in properly here.
I was picturing please don't do the fucking ref thing. Where it's are you sure? Are you sure? Are you cashing in the briefcase? Are you doing this right here, right now, at WrestleMania? Are you cashing in this Money in the Bank briefcase? Yeah, and I was like, yes, I'm cashing in. Let me cash in. Yes, I'm cashing in now. Cash it in.
Yeah.
This is just Priest going, I'm cashing in. And then it's the rest okay.
And then literally, I think McIntyre stands up, Priest puts him down, and it's over.
Yeah.
And it's literally I think it goes about 7 seconds.
It's, about that, I think. Maybe less, I don't know.
And Damian Priest is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, beautiful moment.
And it was. We got 2 beautiful moments within about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I am legitimately happy for Priest. Although I still think they've made a bad booking error by not having him cash in on Cody.
Yeah. I think we were saying in our separate chats and stuff, but we were saying imagine the amount of heat that Priest would have got if he cashed in on either Cody or Roman in the main event.
Yep. That was you solidify yourself as a heel there.
Yeah. Or face.
Depending on who you cash in on.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was great. The match was great, and then Priest cashing in, they did it really well. CM Punk has stuck one to Drew McIntyre, and it's great. I love it. I actually now, and I said this in one of the prediction servers we're in, that I've warmed to Punk. I wasn't sure about him coming back, and he seems to have just grown up, which is mad to say with considering all the shit that happened in AEW.
Yeah.
But I actually don't think he's to blame for a lot of it.
Yeah, that's probably valid. I mean, not to go, we might get some validation and some clarification on that.
We're only going to see what they want us to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be totally out of context and it's going to be shitting all over CM Punk. That's what it's going to be.
It's going to be a new lawsuit.
100%, as it should be. If they're going to show this footage and it just paints him in a bad light, I don't blame him. Because it's you've got more footage there that would make you all look bad, but you're not showing that. So
yeah.
The one I'm interested in is just show me where Tony Khan's fearing for his life. That's what I want to see.
I'm not even interested in the all-in footage. I want to see the all-out footage before from the previous year. I want to see that. I want to see that backstage fight. I want to know who started it. I want to know what sparked it.
Yeah, exactly. There's better footage that you've got there, but you're giving us all-in footage where we already know what's happened. Yeah. We already know he choked him. He admitted to doing it. What are you gaining from doing this now?
Yeah.
They wanted a ratings bump for 1 week. Well done. And I bet they don't break a mill.
Probably not. But to focus back on the topic at hand. Damian Priest is the new World Heavyweight Champion.
The World Heavyweight Champion, yeah. And we will now move on to, I think, probably the most surprising match of the weekend in terms of how good it was.
Yeah.
Which was the 6-man tag Philadelphia street fight between the Pride, Lashley, Dawkins, and Ford, and the Final Testament, Akam, Karrion Kross, and Razar. yeah, I was surprisingly into this match.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. Obviously, you had the bit of Bubba Ray Dudley being the special guest referee.
yeah. I'm going to be completely honest. I enjoyed this, but I didn't see all of it.
Right.
So, very famously, in shows, especially like sports-related shows, where it's like a combat of like series of fights, whatever. There's very famously a match that fans dub as the piss break, which is the moment that you go and make something to eat, or you make something to drink, or you go to the toilet, or whatever you do, right? This for me was that match. I saw Bubba Ray come out as special referee. I was like, "That's cool. I'm gonna go take a piss now." Like,
yeah.
So since then, I've gone back and watched the rest of the match that I missed up before. But in the moment, I came back. I think it was like the final 5 minutes I saw, and I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a street fight. It was in Philadelphia, 6-man tag match. It was everything that Tin said. You know, like
Yeah. You didn't get anything you weren't expecting.
yeah, precisely.
And we got the same in terms of the result as well. I don't think I've ever watched a match outside of NXT where Karrion Kross has won. I'm pretty sure since he's been on the main roster, I've never seen him win.
I mean, to be fair, we did award him as the worst wrestler of the year in our awards.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I'm pretty sure I don't even think there was an argument about it either. I feel like we all just agreed.
We did. I think I brought him up, and then you two were both like, "Oh yeah, he exists." Like,
yeah. I think that is exactly what happened. Yeah, he exists. He must be bad if we're saying he exists.
yeah.
Like, yeah. I just don't see where they go from here with Karrion Kross. Like,
I don't know either. I mean, I don't get the point of the Pride saying that either.
no.
Like, it's a good faction, I guess. That makes sense to an extent.
Well, it's the Hurt Business without MVP.
Yeah, and the profits aren't boring anymore, which is the main thing.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting for Montez Ford needs his single run. He's needed this for about 2 years, and eventually he'll get it. But like, he does need to just be on his own. I feel like they're a good tag team, but Montez has so much more he could do.
Yeah.
And Dawkins is holding him back.
Yeah. That's valid, because he is.
Because, well, the thing is, I don't want to see the Street Profits as tag team champions again. So what did he do?
Yeah. Bobby and Angelo as tag champions, and Montez goes singles run.
Yeah, well, just do something different. Yeah, exactly that. Like, but the Street Profits were forced on us for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, just do something else.
And also, I just want to say as well, you do realise that despite losing, Karrion Kross will be in the world title scene going forward now.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because Cody needs someone to beat.
Yeah. It'll be a filler feud, but it'll be there.
Yeah, it will. But yeah, we're going to move on from that match because it was decent. I rated that 3 stars because I just thought it was solid.
Yeah, I rated 2.5. It was
Yeah.
It was better than what I thought it'd be, which is the main thing.
Yeah. And then we move on to LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Yes.
Which was like, well, if you go back to Impact times, this match should be great.
Yeah.
And it was just meh. I wasn't like overly impressed.
Yeah.
I feel like they've lost the momentum on LA Knight now.
They have. There was a moment where he was red hot. There was a moment where AJ was red hot. But unfortunately for them, neither of those times coincide with each other. It's a very weird scenario here because you've got 2 guys who are good wrestlers, or one's a phenomenal, no pun intended, one's a phenomenal wrestler, and one is a decent wrestler. So you should be able to have something good out of this. but what they delivered was sort of middle of the road, sort of very mid in regards to what they did.
Yeah.
And I'm not being a certain kind of person here when I say this. I do believe it is something to do with their age.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just because they can't go as fast as they once could, or they can't hit as hard as they once could. Like, I think that's just purely what it is, because it happens to all of us. We're all human. Like,
yeah. Well, AJ's already said he's literally winding down now.
yeah, exactly.
Like, he is done. He ain't signing a new contract and he ain't wrestling anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, he is coming to the end, and this is probably... He might go to next Mania and have a retirement match.
Okay,
And that's probably him done. Yeah.
Round 2.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is going to be a WWE theme now, where they do the same match 2 years in a row.
Every match on this card is the same one next year.
Yeah. Oh God! Don't say that. Don't manifest that, Jesus.
Jimmy and Jay, round 2.
Oh God! I don't want it. Don't inject that into my veins, Jesus. If you inject that into my veins, I'll end up dead. God.
That's very messy of you there, Frozzy.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of this match, it was just LA Knight getting another win. AJ Styles is winding down, but they are losing momentum on LA Knight, because I think since he was red hot, what did he have him win a battle royal?
It was something like that.
Money in the Bank.
I think the height of his popularity was Roman at the Saudi show.
Well, he should have won Money in the Bank. In my opinion, the Priest should not have won that match. He should have been LA Knight. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad Priest won it, and if it wasn't going to be LA Knight, then it made the most sense.
Yeah.
But I think they didn't capitalize on how hot he was. He should have at least won the US title. But I think they give him like a battle royal win in Saudi.
I'm not entirely sure.
He won a battle royal somewhere, and it was just like for no reason whatsoever, and it didn't gain anything. He just won a battle royal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just 2.5 stars. I didn't hate it, didn't love it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying here 2.5. It's just middle of the road. Didn't hate it. Didn't like it though. So
yeah. So we'll move on to the United States title triple threat match, which was Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul, which had no right to be as good as it was. But we're going to touch on the fact that going out to the ring, KO had Sami Zayn waiting for him as like a throwback to night one.
Mm-hmm.
Which just the continuity was just good, because you don't often get that. So it was really nice to see Zayn be like, right, now it's your turn tonight. Go and get it done. Obviously, Logan Paul had entered first, and then I think KO did his entrance, but he waited for Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And it was the most random entrance ever.
It really was. Owens did his entrance. He came out, stood at the top of the ramp, was like, hang on a minute, went back, and then came back out in like a golf cart, golf buggy sort of vehicle. Then out comes Randy, and at this point the camera's not showing anything in front of Randy, so you just see Randy, and then suddenly the camera pans and you see Owens is still there in the car, and in the car waiting for Randy.
Yeah.
And then Kevin's like, get in, and then Randy's like, all right.
It's so random. And then like when he's driving down, I'm convinced that Randy's just going to fall off.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's traveling down that ramp, and I'm like, he's going to fall off here.
I'm fairly certain there's a moment going down that rampway that either Randy says something like, whoa, slow down, or he does a gesture to sort of hold himself from falling.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he does something to that effect.
Yeah.
Because as you said, like he's going down this ramp at a stupid speed that the buggy is quite unstable and probably shouldn't support the weight of a fully grown man standing on it. Like,
yeah. But I mean, it's just the theme of that continued because for the start of the match they just beat on Logan Paul.
Yeah. Like
Which
the
is,
OC
to
did
be
a few
fair,
years ago, beat up John Cena.
Yeah.
They beat up
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, no, exactly. And this is exactly what should have happened.
Yeah.
It was right. And then I can't remember which one it was that turned. Like, you always have that alliance that always falls apart.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one turned.
So
I feel like it was probably Randy.
So yeah, it was Randy, but it was more a case of they were working together until a certain point, and then I think they cleared away Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul rolled to the outside, and it was just them two. And then Kev looks at him. He's like, "Are we gonna do this now?" And he's like, "Are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do the cliche, allies who turn because it's a triple threat match?" And then Randy's like, "No." And then Logan gets back in, and then Kevin goes to do some sort of move on him, and then Randy turns around and attempts an RKO.
Yeah.
To which Kevin counters, and he's like, "Come on." And then he's like, "So we are doing this now." And then Randy's like, "I guess so." And then they start fighting.
Yeah. It is so good.
It really is.
And there was some great spots in this match.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fast paced, and again, it was better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, and it's insane you say it's fast paced for Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in the same match for be fast paced.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, whoever made Logan Paul a great wrestler, it is ridiculous how good that man is.
Yeah. And I think Cole alludes to it in commentary as well, that he's not seen anyone, and I agree with this statement, that he's not seen anyone take the pro wrestling as well as Logan Paul has.
Yeah.
Which I try and think back on it through my years of watching wrestling. Like I can't think of anyone who debuted and took so well to it.
Yeah.
Like Logan Paul, I think first few matches he was a bit rough around the edges and stuff, but he's really honed his craft, and he's incredible.
What's he had now? Is this 7 matches? 8 matches, maybe?
Something like that. But he
has no right to be as good as he is.
He's better than Bad Bunny.
I mean, and Bad Bunny is a good celebrity wrestler, to be fair. He's not bad. Like, when you think of the Bad Bunny matches, never been bad. Like,
shout out Damian Priest.
Yeah, shout out Damian Priest. That was a fucking incredible match, that one. But no, even the one against The Miz wasn't a bad match for Bad Bunny. They had a tag match, didn't they?
Yeah, it was him and John Morrison, wasn't
it? Right. Was it John Morrison? I thought it was Rey Mysterio.
No, sorry, I meant Miz and John Morrison.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, it was.
I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. They were doing the rap song. It was like,
yes,
hey, ho, ho,
Yeah. I do remember that now.
Is it said I remember that? I don't know.
I think so. It's something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, and then we got the Prime bottle got involved.
Yes. So,
which was, to everyone's surprise, not KSI.
Yeah. So obviously we go. Randy sets up for a pump on Logan, and you just see the Prime bottle in the background going like, "Way, I'm the Prime bottle," and he sets up for the punk kick, which is something that he doesn't do very often. I think barely at all nowadays. Yeah. He goes for it, but before he attempts to run up, the Prime bottle pulls Logan out the ring, and then takes the little face shield thing off. And it's not KSI, as you said. It's not Jake Paul. It's not even a YouTuber, really.
No.
It's a Twitch streamer. it's HCWShow or what you want to call him.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a missed opportunity, in my opinion, because I don't know how well known he is. I know he's quite well known, but I don't know how well known he is among Twitch streamers and stuff like that. But very good appearance though from him. Very shocking as well, because I didn't see it being him.
So many F-bombs. So many. Because he is a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
He really is. And how he got away with it, like dropping F-bombs, not like getting... Cause he's not been called out for it or anything like that. Like, that's... The Rock can do that.
Yeah.
Your iShow speed, you Twitch stream. Like,
I show rock.
yeah. Exactly. And then, but Randy Orton absolutely murders him.
Yeah. And not to mention the
It's so
absolute bizarre moment where he's barking at Randy.
I forgot about that.
So he's barking at Randy, and then Randy just like kicks him away, and then he like drags him towards the table after he's sat on the table and all that. They're both on the table, and then he just barks back in Speed's face.
Yeah. It is so good.
It's insane because someone like Speed as well probably grew up watching wrestling and probably grew up watching Randy Orton. So to have that moment where someone like Randy Orton is barking in your face before he RKO's you or whatever, like like
it's
him
so
and
good.
like KSI before that on that episode of SmackDown, like again same thing. Probably grew up watching wrestling, grew up watching Randy Orton. Like to have that moment with someone like Randy Orton is, I imagine, like life making. Like
Yeah, and fair play to them both. They took RKO's well, KSI and iShow Speed on the two occasions that he's done. So yeah, no, fair play to him for taking the move, and making it look good. Because they're not trained. Like KSI is barely a trained boxer, let alone a wrestler.
Yeah. Exactly.
And iShow Speed is just all he's known for is just Cristiano Ronaldo hype.
Yeah, exactly. Suey.
So yeah, Suey. It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, and then obviously the match carries on. We'll get back to the match now.
Yes.
And Logan Paul picks up the win, which I think a lot of people predicted would happen.
Yeah, I am so proud of my YouTube influencer boy. I am so proud. I was surrounded by a lot of negativity regarding the match because I am surrounded by a lot of people who do not like Logan Paul in wrestling. So among my friend groups, like my in real life, like my outside of like online stuff, friends, they were like, "It's gonna be Randy," and I was like, "You could be right, but you're wrong. It's gonna be Logan."
Yeah,
because the story to me is Knight at SummerSlam wins the title from Logan.
Yeah.
So Logan has to win here because realistically, Randy and Kevin winning the match makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased Logan won. I love the match thoroughly, and the best person won. This is the best result.
Yeah, no, it really was the best result, and this for me was a 4-star match.
Yeah, same here.
And that is what I went with. So, solid showing from all three. Logan Paul, the right winner, and he just keeps getting better. And long may it continue. If he's going to stick around, like keep putting on these matches because he's great. And I never thought I'd ever say that about Logan Paul.
Yeah, and I think it's very key as well how he's being presented as well. Like he's not someone who wrestles week in week out because that's how you oversaturate and then that's how you eventually come to boredom with certain wrestlers. But the way he's doing it, he appears sporadically, and when he appears on weekly TV, he don't wrestle, he just talks.
Yeah,
and then he's a dick. It's such a good heelish dick. Like it's
yeah, he's the right type of heel.
Yeah,
he's just a massive dickhead.
Yeah,
and then he has a fight on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. And wins.
yeah, more often than not, wins. Yeah.
So he literally says shit and backs it up.
Yeah, he does. Because I think is his only loss to Roman.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So and that was to be expected. So we move on to the WWE Women's Title match, which is defending champion Io Sky against Bayley.
Yes.
This match was great.
It was.
And it was very close to like being up there for like probably match of the weekend. It was that good.
Mm-hmm.
The story was great. Like, this wasn't billed as much as Becky and Rhea was, because they're the two names, Becky and Rhea. But this was immense.
Mm-hmm.
I've like there's two matches I've watched again since I watched Mania Live, and it's this one and the next one. They're the only two matches I've watched more than once.
Yeah.
Because this was just art.
Yeah.
Is what this was. This is what women's wrestling can be when.
Yeah, absolutely. And saying that, it only got like 15 minutes.
Yeah. But that is giving women's matches time. That's wild. It's a Raw main event length.
Yeah. Which is, again, mad say about like a main little match. Like.
Yeah, exactly. And this, like, it could have gone longer, and I wouldn't have been bored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they did get the perfect length, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They told the story that needed to be told, and they got all the shit in.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Like, this was. What's it on?
No, go on. You're right.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that this was a storyline match compared to what Becky and Rhea was. Becky and Rhea was Battle of the Titans, like, in regards to, like, both of these two are tremendously, like, high-statured women within the roster. Whereas this is not necessarily someone who's so high up. Bailey's high up, but not as high as, like, a Becky or a Rhea.
Yeah.
And Io Sky, who's probably not that well known, considering most things in WWE. Like, she and Bailey have been part of Damage Control. They've had that story going for the last, how long now? Was that like, it's been like 2 years?
It's like, it was SummerSlam, wasn't it? That he came back, not the one just gone, the one before.
Yeah.
So you're talking the better part of 18 months?
There you go, yeah, a year and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
So you've had the story going on through their development, their friendship, their companionship, how you want to word it, and then just the breakaway. And you saw the writing on the wall. You saw them bringing Kairi Sane. You saw them bringing Asuka. You saw it becoming a slightly more Joshi faction. Yeah. And Dakota Kai. But you saw, like I say, you saw the writing on the wall. You saw what was coming. Bayley wins the Royal Rumble. And it's like, you know she's not going to go for Rhea.
Yeah.
Because you see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, it's all there. It's done perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, and Bayley wins Rumble, by the way, from like number 3, which is insane in itself.
Yeah.
I think Rhea's the one who's done better. Rhea would have been for number 1.
Yeah, she won it from 1, didn't she? So
yeah, fair dues to Bayley for that as well. But the match and the build to the match was perfect in regards to just having the faction break off, the betrayal, the slight redemption that Dakota might be on Bayley's side, to then, oh no, Dakota's not on Bayley's side. So I think, personally, for me, this was heads and tails better than Becky and Rhea. Both build and in-ring. Meltzer referred to this more as a... what's the word he used? It was like a Stardom main event level.
Yeah, a Stardom main event,
I watch a lot of Stardom. I don't necessarily agree.
I don't agree with a lot of what Dave Meltzer says.
But it's a weird sort of thing to say, because like Stardom and WWE are two very different promotions, and they book things very, very differently. But this match had no interference. There was nothing like that. There was the slight injury gimmick as well they had going on, which Bayley sold like $1 million. Everything was done correctly, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I rated it, I think, like 4.5. I think I rated it. So,
yeah, I was 4.5. It was just less than the Bloodline match from the night before, but like, there's not much in it. And like, considering the length of the matches, like I think we referred to it earlier on, like with the Drew and Zeth match, that if you rated them on match length, 10-minute 5-star. This was 15-minute 5-star. Like, easy. It's but when you're judging everything off the same scale, it didn't quite hit the 5-star.
No, of course, because there's a certain level you've got to hit 5-star.
Yeah.
And I suspect that we might see it.
Yeah, I think we might see it, but yeah, Bailey winning was the right decision as well. Because was this? Am I right? And I didn't dream this that this was Bailey's first singles match.
I think you'll be right. Like, I'm not gonna do like the research into it right now, but just trying to think back on previous years. Like, I can only picture her in tag matches,
Yeah,
or battle royal, or
yeah,
some sort of multi-person match, maybe. Like, but I don't.
Yeah.
I can't picture her in a singles match at Mania.
no, I actually said it. I'm sure Michael Cole said this is Bailey's first singles match at WrestleMania.
That's. I don't remember the line being said, but that does sound accurate.
I'd have to. I will fact check that because I could well be wrong, but I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Well, comment if I'm wrong. Comment. But yeah, I feel like I'm right. But yeah,
right.
it was everything it needed to be. And yeah, we will move on to the next match, which is, to be fair, a year in the making. I think we knew where we were going after last year, that we were going to end up back here at this point, which back in February looked like we weren't going to end up going there, because they decided to bring The Rock in and try and fuck shit up.
Yeah, I mean, let's just take a moment to actually look at the build before we get into the match. But
yeah,
like, it was very weird. Cody wins the Rumble from like, was it number 1?
Yeah.
And
was it 1?
It was like, I think it was like the first 3 at least.
Why did I think he was number 15?
You might be right. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I feel like he was 15.
You might be right. I'm trying to think, because he's definitely won a Rumble from number 1. I'm sure he has, but that might have been last year. Oh no, last year he was 30.
Last year he won from 30. I'm sure he was 15 this year.
You could be right. I don't know why I'm thinking number 1. But anyway, so yeah, he wins the Rumble. And, you know, obviously he's going to go for Roman. They symbolise this. Roman's ready, etc. And then for whatever reason, we hit February.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I can't complete the story. And then suddenly out comes Rock, and it's like, okay, what are we doing with Rock? And then Rock's like, I'll do it for you. And it's
yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're going to get this big Rock and Roman match.
Yeah.
But that's not the direction fans wanted. And it was made clear because there was a lot of online hate for this. A lot of it not making any sense. Why is Rock here? Where's Cody's main event? He won the Rumble. Like, why is he just giving it away to Rock?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they did like a shaking hands thing or an embrace sort of thing to acknowledge like Cody was like passing the opportunity on to Rock.
Yeah.
Obviously nothing's been official because that would be insane.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think it was like next couple of weeks we start teasing the whole Rock and Roman thing, and then suddenly Cody's like, actually, no.
Yeah. No, it was the press conference, wasn't it?
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. They did the press conference like that happened on the SmackDown, and I think they were doing the press conference the following Thursday before SmackDown, I think. Or was it Saturday after the next one?
I don't remember the exact details, but yeah.
It was like a week apart, and they did the press conference in Vegas, and they never do them really.
Yeah, so you knew something was coming because this is like the first time they've done a publicly available to watch press conference. Yeah, which for the most part is normal. Like people come out, they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna defend my title at Mania," or "Yeah, I won the Rumble. I'm gonna challenge someone at Mania. Da, 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 da. And then
Yeah.
it comes to the main thing with Rock and Roman, and then it's like, okay, so there's something big going on here. Because it can't be just because Rock's involved in this, right? There's something has to happen.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get the infamous, like they celebrate the bloodline, and then like they show the entire family tree thing. And I think is it Cody comes out first, or is it Seth?
Yeah, no. So before they do is it before they do the family tree?
I'm sure they do probably
Cody
first.
comes out. Oh, they might do. I think you might be right.
I'm not.
Well, they do it, and then Cody comes out and he's like, "Well, this is bullshit." Yeah, and it's like, "Oh right, okay." Now he's actually going to change his mind, and he lists off all the reasons. So he's like, "I choose you, Roman Reigns," and he's like, Roman's like, "Look, you can't do that. Like, it's big main event here, but like, you can't do that."
No.
Like, tell us, man, he's insane.
Like you give it away. Yeah.
Yeah. But prior to the Rumble even happening, The Rock was on Raw, wasn't he? And he said he wanted to sit at the head of the table. So they'd already foreshadowed that Rock was fight Roman before Cody even won the fucking. Yeah. How they ended up in the situation that they ended up in is mental.
Yeah. I think they tried something sort of backlash and was like, okay, no, let's go back.
Yeah. But what happened when they pivoted back to what we ended up with was absolute fucking gem of a story.
Yeah.
That it turned into. We got Final Boss Rock, Hollywood Rock, and he played it to perfection.
Yes.
Like, no wonder he is the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid, because like we've seen all levels of the Rock. We've seen babyface Rock. We've seen corporation Rock back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Hollywood Rock, which is very very goofy. I would say like back in the like early 2000s, like we turned heel the first time. Like
when he went with Hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. A very goofy heel, like insulting Goldberg because of his bald head, like that sort of stuff. To eventually leave him, being a movie star, etc. Coming back in 2011 to set up the feud with Cena, which is by all accounts a very, in my opinion, very poor set of matches.
Yeah, the matches were poor. The build-ups were great.
Yeah. I mean, that's partly due to Rock getting injured, I believe, in both of them.
Which is why night one was such a surprise.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously past that, then we get this new version of Rock, which is, at first we're like, oh, babyface Rock, the prima Jinder, where he's like, yeah, I can control the crowd. And then after that, we start getting more, hang on. Because Cody in the press conference mentions members of families. Because I think Roman does it first. I think Roman mentions something about Dusty. And then Cody retaliates with like members of the Anoa'i family. And then he even goes mentioning The Rock's grandfather.
Yeah.
Saying how they wouldn't be pleased with Roman. And then that leads to the infamous Rock slapping Cody on the stage. And then from there we get Insane Build. We get the more ruthless, the more dangerous version of Hollywood Rock, where he's not just fighting for himself; he's fighting for his family and his tribe, his livelihood. Because everything about them is family and blood, and it's literally the bloodline. Like, this is more than just Roman and the Usos now. This is the Anoa'i family. This is the Johnson family. Like, this is all of it combining into one to make one massive bloodline. Like,
and it is, and it's just funny that, like, obviously Roman for God knows how long now, and it's like he's supposed to be like number one, and then The Rock just calls himself the final boss, and it's like, you're clearly not number one now, bro. Like get over it. Like, he might say he acknowledges you, but he's literally calling himself the final boss.
And you're okay with that, Roman.
yeah, exactly. That's the only part that's like is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But the whole build up, like you said, the intensity that The Rock brought, and especially on the Raw, just before where he absolutely obliterates Cody. It all just makes up to what we got on night 1, and then that builds into even more into night 2. And I think you said before that like the two, like the babyface and the heel, the two biggest, they mesh together so well. Like, and it's not probably since Rock Austin that two biggest stars mesh so well, and it makes for a great match.
Mm-hmm.
But this match was every bit as good as the last one.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of shit happened in this match.
Yeah.
Like it was your standard match. Like obviously bloodline rules, and you get your chair shots and whatnot going on, and your kendo sticks and all the crap that comes with bloodline rules. But I don't think we need to talk too much about the 28 minutes before.
So,
and then everything happens in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Is absolute fucking cinema.
We can mention the stuff before the first, like the last 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. So there are a few moments that happen before.
Yeah.
That aren't as big because they're more expected. But naturally we have our build to the match. We have the match happening. The first 10-15 minutes is very standard. Good match, but nothing much to really write about or much to shout about. Then obviously Roman takes control, and then in comes Jimmy Uso. He's the first one to get involved in this. He comes in, numbers game again, instantly on Cody. Cody's down, and then just as Roman hits a spear, I think it is. In comes Jay. Jay, who is
genuinely, when his music hit, I thought that was John Cena. I was like, is that fucking John Cena? And then I was like, oh no, it's Jey Uso. Oh, fucking obvious.
And literally, you can sort of see it. Jimmy, Roman sends Jimmy out to go, just get rid of him. And then you can see Jay on the camera, as Jimmy runs towards him, he's doing this. He's he's doing this running save, and he's just doing,
It's just me, Oos.
But then obviously they fight on the ramp, Jimmy and Jay, and then we get the weirdest run up on the stage.
It's like, so you know when in football that you get told to curve your run as a striker? That is exactly what fucking Jey Uso did. It's like he was trying to stay onside, and then he just spears his brother for a table. It's so weird.
Yeah, and they do a spear off the ramp into a set of tables that are set up below. The spot is insane. But that is the last you see of the Usos in this involvement. They both died right there and then.
They died on night 1. The Usos did.
Well, who are these two? So the match continues. Cody has the band, sets up for the first set of the trifecta of Crossroads. He hits 2 of them. He's looking around because he expects someone from the Bloodline, but no one's there until there is. It's Solo Sikoa.
Again.
Yeah, he comes in, Samoan Spike, just like last year.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, here we go again. And then they hit the Samoan Spike spear combo. And
well, he pins him first and he kicks out, doesn't he?
Oh,
and then Solo's like, what is going on here, bro? This won last year, So then Solo's fuming, picks him up, and he's like, at this point, he's going mad at Roman.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm like, because he's not beat him, Solo's going to turn here. I was like, Solo's turning on Roman. This is going to be the end.
Yeah.
And then he holds him up, and I'm convinced all the way through that Roman's going to run in, try and hit this spear, and Solo's going to hit him. And he runs up, and no, he doesn't hit him. He obviously spikes him as the spear happens.
Yeah.
And then Solo turns away. Roman pins him again, and he kicks out again.
Yeah. And
it's like,
and it's at this
Whoa.
point he's like, finish this, finish him, and you just hear Roman going, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I found it so funny. I just found it funny they got this breathless Roman going like, yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like, so obviously that as that happens, Solo's getting more and more pissed off that Cody is not staying down.
Yeah.
But of course, when you can't stay down, who'd you call?
John Cena.
And probably the most anticipated surprise of the night. I don't know anyone who didn't know Cena was going to be involved in this.
Yeah.
Out comes Cena, toupee and all. He gets into the ring.
Mate, that bald spot is so off-putting.
It really is. It's
I can't take John Cena seriously. Yeah.
It's full head of hair, and then you see the back of his head, and it's like, oh.
Like, just get rid of it.
just go bald Cena.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he comes
just
in.
have your hair shorter. Like, even when his hair was shorter, like, it looked better than that.
Yeah, very true. But so Cena clears house. He deals with Solo. His attitude adjustment on Roman. And then I think he does go outside for a second. I can't remember what for.
Is it when he puts Solo through the table?
That might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
He gives him an attitude adjustment inside the ring. So no, he doesn't. He runs and he knocks Solo over the top with a clothesline. Then he attitude adjustments Roman. And then he goes to the outside and puts Solo through a table. And as he's admiring his work,
yeah,
Hollywood rock.
Yeah. And then that camera shot of just Cena's face in the close lens. And then behind him, you see the Titantron and the ramp where you see the Brown Balls logo appear. You hear the music. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, at this point, nothing unexpected. You know, like we knew that at some point. Like, we didn't know when, but it became obvious when he was here. It was like, oh, okay, we're doing this again.
This is a throwback to 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully no one gets injured this time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he did well not to get injured here. But yeah, he got in the ring and he did the stare down bit, didn't he? Where they looked opposite ways twice. And then, because for most of it, Cena looked absolutely petrified.
Yeah.
Like you'd see the ghost.
I see the ghost, precisely. Yeah.
And then he takes his shirt off, throws it into the crowd, says you can't see me, and gets dropped. Like, see you later, John.
Yeah, that was literally that was all we saw of Cena for there.
No, it really was.
Yeah, and then there's not much else that Rock does. I believe. I believe he gets the belt.
Cody's like stirring in it.
Yeah, Cody's stirring.
He gets the Mama Rhodes belt.
Yeah, he gets the belt. Get ready to hit Cody with it, and then suddenly, bong.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Because this one was unexpected.
Yeah, precisely. Because I had a better, well, not better, but in my own mind it was better. But like, I didn't see it being this person.
Yeah, I agreed that I feel like if it was the other person, and I feel like we'd know it's the person, it would have been better.
Yeah, just the moment and the music and just the walk down and everything.
Yeah.
But no, of course,
it's. I was going to say you'd argue that it's probably like the biggest story that's ever happened in WWE would be between The Rock and the other person who we thought it'd be.
Yeah, precisely. But yeah, if you couldn't tell who the bong was, it was, of course, Undertaker.
It's gonna be Kane!
Exactly. Like, who else could be here? Of course, like you're out, come back on. There he is.
Yeah.
And I remember I said to Muzzer, I was so sad he didn't go to Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
I would have loved the rev in the motorbike, coming down the long ramp way on the motorbike, just
yeah.
I would absolutely adore
Keep
that.
rolling.
Exactly. Even the
Yeah.
2002 theme, like that Dead Man Walking, like that one, Dead Man Inc. and all that. I would have loved both, either one of those entrances, but no, I assume just because of the age and timing, they wanted to just get him in the ring and there. But no, he's there. Rock's now seen a ghost. He goes to hit Taker with the belt, but he's caught with a chokeslam, and then that chokeslam knocks out Rock, and then the lights go out, and then they go back again, and Taker's gone.
And they're both gone.
Yeah, and so's Rock.
The Rock.
He
oh my god, you kidnapped him!
He took Rock with him.
Literally.
I realized we actually forgot someone before Taker as well. Actually, I literally just remembered. Because Rock comes in, after he deals with Cena, then the Shield music plays.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, the Shield music plays before Taker.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, when they played the Shield music, I was like, there's no fucking way they've signed John Moxley. There's just no way they've done it.
Exactly. I was like, there's no way they've done this, but it's Mania. It'd be a one-off appearance. I could see them doing something like this as a one-off. And then I thought Tony Khan's not going to let that go, is he? Like,
it's good exposure if he lets someone on there on WrestleMania. But I was like, the entire time it was playing, I was like, "Is his contract up? Is he come back? Like, what has happened here? Why are they playing the Shield music?"
Yeah, and I remember being delusional in my own mind, thinking, "Oh my god, it's the Shield! It's gonna be Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns coming down to the ring." I was like, "Wait, no, Roman's in the ring." Like,
yeah. And then obviously it turns out that it's just Seth on his own with his bad leg.
Yeah, and
barely making it to the fucking ring. Like, it took so long for me to realise what was going on.
Yeah.
And then you just see Roman dive across the ring.
Yeah, and it was literally a case of, you see Rock, he's like, "Come on then, show yourselves." And then you see the camera pan to Roman, who's just entering the ring. And then he runs to the corner of the ring, Superman punch. He's knocked out someone in Shield gear. It's Seth Rollins.
Yeah. He looks nothing like Seth Rollins at that point.
No, he literally dyed his hair, like, more yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, at this point, it's like, "Oh. Well, cheers, Seth." And
yeah. And then we get the gong.
Yeah, that's right. And then Taker comes into it.
Yeah, the whole Undertaker shtick happens. He disappears. And then it is just Cody and Roman. And Seth still passed out in the ring.
Seth still passed out in the ring. So to take a clear up, we're not Seth.
Yeah. And then, it goes on that Roman then gets back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Cody and Seth are both stirring, and Roman's got a chair.
Yep.
And he's like, caught in two minds, but it's so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And he absolutely hammers Rollins, and I'm pretty sure the reaction he gives is the Roman reaction from the original chair shot.
Yeah.
Like, he falls onto the bottom rope, and Roman gets his retribution after God knows how many years.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also cost him the match.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Because as soon as Seth falls, he goes to set up for a spear.
Yeah.
Does the whole ooh-ah thing in the corner. Goes to run. Gets in the position to hit spear. Kick to the head.
Yeah.
And then that stuns Roman enough for Cody to get in position to hit the first crossroads.
Yeah.
And at this moment, you're like, can anybody else interfere in this match? And at this point, I'm thinking, is there someone I'm not thinking of? Is there someone that I've missed?
Well, they'd already signed someone else, haven't they? Is it?
Well, allegedly, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was being reported everywhere that this person had signed.
Yeah, I think the more case that the guy was saying to places that he was signed rather than the other way around. But
yeah, well, we're not gonna spoil it in case he does randomly show up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Cody hits the first crossroads. Nothing so far. Gets up with Roman, hits the second crossroads, and it's like, okay, where's Solo? Come on, like,
Yeah.
just run it back.
Yeah. Do it again.
And then the whole stirring way. He's struggling to lift him, and like this is the moment, this is the opportunity, this is the one chance he's gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Gets up in the heat of the moment, and then boom, hits the third of the trifecta of Crossroads.
First time he's ever hit 3 on Roman.
Yeah,
So
first time he's ever hit 3. Hits the 3, goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
At that moment, I still couldn't believe what I'd just seen.
It was the most overbooked period I have ever seen in a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fucking great.
Yeah, the most overbooked match I've ever seen in my life. Of watching wrestling for over 20 years, and probably the best match I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was so good. Literally, like, I don't like breaking scales like Meltzer does. So this is a 5-star match.
This is a 5-star match, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't even say this is an 8-star match. I just want to say this is a 10-star match.
Mate, it's like in the Tokyo Dome. This is breaking all sorts of records.
How about a whole Ray Knight in Stoke?
Oh no! Honestly, right? I went into this wanting Roman to just win, just to watch the fucking world burn.
Yeah.
But like when it was done, the right person won.
Yeah.
And I think if anyone goes back and watches one of our shorts of DP ranting about Cody Rhodes, yeah, it's definitely changed. I think I feel like your mind has changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's changed a fair bit since then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, back then he wasn't on the road to Roman again. Like,
no.
Back then he was like in this weird sort of limbo where he was, I think, fighting Seth. I think he was, or he was fighting someone. I can't remember who he was fighting at the time.
Was it Brock?
Was it Brock? It might have been Brock. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
I feel like it wasn't that long ago.
It is safe to say that the mindset has definitely changed. I see the vision.
Yeah. But like, so the match finishes, but we've still got like another 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Because what happens after post-match is just as ridiculous as the match itself.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I saw the alternate view. So they show Roman going up the ramp, but not on TV. This is just fan footage. Yeah. And you see Roman going up the ramp, all the wrestlers get into who know him and stuff like that, and have been with him during this journey.
Yeah.
Jey Uso runs past Roman Reigns like he's not fucking there.
Yeah.
Doesn't even acknowledge him, and that is the level of storytelling that they've got to in WWE. That Jey Uso is probably gutted for his family.
Yeah.
He's just running past him like he's not there, runs past him and Paul Heyman, skips past The Rock, and gets into the ring and celebrates with Cody Rhodes.
I think that's part of the telling of the story as well, in regards to Jay didn't acknowledge him coming down the ramp. Neither did Kevin Owens, neither did Sami Zayn, neither did any of the other faces who came out at that moment. No one acknowledged
him. Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful aspect of that. And even though most of it's not caught on camera, it's just something that you can interpret.
Yeah.
And also on camera, you see just before Roman goes up the rampway, Rock's there. He's reappeared.
Yeah. Undertaker didn't keep him for long.
Oh god. But yeah, no, like I said, this was just ridiculous. This became a fan fest, love fest. Everyone's out, everyone's celebrating. Brandy Rhodes is here. That's fair enough. You've got all the faces of the night.
Yeah.
There's no heels because what?
Why was LA Knight in that ring?
Oh yeah, I forgot he was there.
There was so many people in the ring. Like Punk had come down. You got Jey Uso and Randy Orton. Jey Uso was his tag partner for a bit. They won the tag titles. Randy Orton was his mentor. His mum's in the ring. The family are in the ring. Like Brandy's dad's in the ring. You get fucking LA Knight. Like why?
Where was Pharaoh? Asking the important questions here.
You're not allowed. It's not allowed to be that close to CM Punk.
Ah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, like when Punk's around dogs, bad things happen.
I mean, it was his dog.
I know, yeah, and it was close to him, and bad things happened.
Poor Larry.
Poor Larry. But no, the whole celebration was great. He gave a nice little speech afterwards, thanking a lot of people. But the main people he wanted were Bruce Pritchard, which I was very surprised at, and Triple H, which I think out of this weekend, the person who's coming out of this weekend with the most credit is Triple H.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, anyone who hasn't seen it, go and watch Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech, because it's a thing of pure beauty.
Yeah.
And for someone who, like, their gimmick is everyone's a Paul Heyman guy, for him to say what he said about Triple H shows you the respect that Triple H has got from that locker room.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, yeah, they had their nice moment, and yeah, Cody is now your champion. Yeah. And it ended a perfect WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't word it much better myself.
It's up there with one of the best WrestleManias. Yeah.
Now, I will address the elephant in the room from what I've seen in a lot of online comments, and anyone who comments on Twitter who says this, who happens to watch our show. This is not the best Mania of all time. This is up there, but it's not.
Yeah.
That honor
what is
falls.
The best Mania of all time?
That honor falls to WrestleMania X7 or 17.
Yeah.
2001. That is the best, despite the ending of the main event between Rock and Austin.
Yeah.
Because that was the solidifying of the Austin heel turn.
Yeah.
And that to me is a glorious moment in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, but then his heel run was shit.
But the moment itself, the culmination of it, the starting part.
It was just like, it was... I'll never agree with Austin siding with this and it being good in any way. He absolutely battered The Rock with chairs, and it was just like, I get because he was going heel that it needed to be done, but they overdid it.
Yeah.
It was like, but the matches on the card were great anyway.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, just as a standalone pay-per-view card, when you put them matches on, like, bit by bit, and compare them with this, then the matches overall were probably better on X7.
Yeah, but also X7 is like one night, whereas this is 2 nights, and I think 2 nights is a detriment to Mania.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of 2-night events, which I think I've said before on the podcast. I find that a bit tiresome. Which is
I like that it's 2 nights.
Yeah.
Purely because you don't get 12 matches crammed into 5 hours or 6 hours or go lengths of AEW pay-per-views where you have 17 matches on a card.
Yeah,
and it's just like that's why I like the 2-night format.
That's valid. I think it's just because I'm an adult who who works for a living.
I don't work.
my job is not being an online influencer, being a wrestling journalist, whatever. Like, my job is not related to the podcast, and I've got to be up. And I'm from the UK, and this is not a UK company. Like,
no.
For me, it's very much an issue of one-night events on Saturday are great because I can watch those live. Because I ain't got to be up on Sunday. Like, or very least I watch it Sunday morning or something like that. Like, I can't watch WrestleMania on Monday morning. So for me, I might prefer one-night events, but on Saturdays. which is why I love like NXT PLEs. Like perfect day, but in AEW like original pay-per-views were on Saturday. I love that idea of Saturday pay-per-views. But yeah, regardless of that, this is WrestleMania 4 we're talking about. But we're going to go on a tangent. Phenomenal show all round. Every show has its weak points. This show had its weak points, but they
were called the Usos.
Well, let's not give them names. This was, like I said, a phenomenal show, up to top to bottom, and this was the perfect way to end. And despite what you say, Roman should never beat Sammartino's record. Sammartino's record is not made to be broken. It was at a different time in wrestling where there wasn't constant media attention, there wasn't weekly shows, there wasn't that sort of thing then at the time. It makes full sense why Bruno had the reign for like 8 years or whatever it was.
Roman got like halfway there.
Yeah, and that's what we're most going to get in the modern industry.
Ain't no one beating that.
No.
Not in our lifetime. No one's doing that.
I'll say, and if they do, we're all going to be dead by then.
Yeah, exactly. In our lifetime, you ain't getting another reign like that. Mm-hmm. And I hope people look back on that reign of Roman's more favourably now. He's been a bit more open about his treatment.
Yeah.
That he still receives, like, every day of his life.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
he can't fulfill a full-time schedule.
No.
Like, there's just no way, given the treatment that he's taking.
Yeah.
Because, like, that shit fatigues you.
Absolutely.
And you are going to be constantly tired. So the fact that he did 2 nights of Mania is mad. He wrestled for, well over an hour over the 2 matches?
Yeah, it's like an hour and 20 altogether, I think it is.
Yeah. So, I hope that now that people know what he's been going through, that, like, he gets the props he deserves, because he has carried that company on his back for 4 years.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether he's there every week or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say maybe 3 years, but I'd say Drew carried it during pandemic, but...
Yeah. But it was fair play to Roman Reigns, and I sort of hope he takes a break, but it sounds like from the...
Yeah, he's undergoing a brand new story.
That's going to blow everyone's mind, so I am quite looking forward to it. You know what he's going to do? He's going to go and invade Tony Khan.
I'm still waiting for the swerve where it's like TKO stands for Tony Khan Organization.
It's not going to be a swerve. They're not swerving anyone. This is real footage. It's happening. I'm convinced. You would not advertise to make it a swerve.
No, fair enough.
In my opinion, dumb decision, but we'll see.
Yeah. But
it'll make for a good headline.
Yeah, I mean, not to continue gushing over the show, but if anyone who come out on top of this, and anyone who we should be thanking, besides Roman Reigns, it is Triple H.
Yeah.
For putting on an amazing show, and not saying that the previous owner, because I'm not gonna say his name, didn't put on good shows, because he did.
Yeah.
Especially Mania.
I was going to say, we wouldn't have Mania.
Yeah, precisely, without that individual being involved in this. But, I mean, Triple H has taken the reins, so to speak, and has made it his own. And this is a great kickstart to what will be now known as the Triple H era. Yeah,
the company is on the up.
Yeah.
And long may it continue, because it makes, like, AEW has been... They're having a rough time, they are. And I feel like WWE going the way that they're going now is probably going to make them try a bit harder.
Yeah.
Like, they're not as story-heavy as WWE.
No.
And they need to be. They are all about putting on good matches. And they do. Like, that is what they do. They put on 5-star matches on TV. randomly.
Yeah.
And it's like, what they need to learn is not to give that shit away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once the penny drops, and it might, like Punk said, he goes, while Tony Khan's still putting money, then it'll still exist.
Yeah.
But if he wants to make a sustainable business, he needs to do something different.
Yeah, I think I thoroughly agree with that.
Yeah. But long may it continue. I hope they stay around. I know I shit on it quite a lot, but it's healthy competition. It is. It makes it's more jobs for people. It's more product for us to review and watch. That and because it's not bad. It's just I don't find it as interesting. That's just a personal opinion.
Yeah, absolutely valid.
Yeah.
And I think going forward, we're gonna have the ongoing global takeover of WWE.
Yeah.
Where we have we've got a show coming up in Scotland. There's a show in France. There's a show in Germany. Like, these are all like big profile shows as well. Like these aren't just like, oh look, a house show.
Yeah.
This is a full-on pay-per-view sort of level show.
Yeah, and it's only going to get better, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, while the booking's the way it is, WWE is going to thrive. And as you said, fair play to Triple H for taking up the mantle and making it what it is now.
Yeah.
And long may it continue. So we will end the video here. Thank you, DP. It is 10 to 1 in the morning. It's gone on a lot longer than we anticipated. But it's just good to talk. It's good to be on a different video.
Yeah.
And we will keep pushing out the content. You can follow us on our socials above. So we are shooting up with followers and subscribers and stuff like that. We appreciate all your support. And we thank you very much. We've recently had the upgraded graphics and everything as well. So we again to the bastard for those.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to A Titan A Day Team intro. And go and check them out as well. We appreciate the support from you guys. But yes, we will leave it there and we will catch you on the next one. See you soon.
Look at that. Peace.